Welcome in to a special edition of An Afternoon Jay here on this Friday. We are linked up with our guy, the best, Rohan Davey of F3 Elite. We'll be out at high school fields tonight.
Woodlawn, we coming, baby.
Woodlawn and Madison Prep. We have got that to talk about. We'll talk about some high school matchups. We've also got football to talk about. UCLA opens up their season tomorrow versus Hawaii. We will talk a little bit about the Bruins, DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson, their quarterback. We watched some film of him. Very impressed with the senior signal caller for the Bruins. We'll also talk about Jameis Winston being named the starting quarterback. In fact, let's start there. Ro, it's good to see you, Ro.
What's happening?
Good to see you, baby.
Freaky Friday, love it.
Yes, indeed. I don't think that surprised anybody, Jameis being named the starter. What does the Saints get with him now as QB1?
You get a QB. You get a real quarterback. I mean, simply put, we know what Taysom Hill is. We saw the Taysom Hill audition. You know what I mean, as far as what, and I'm not bashing Taysom Hill by no stretch. I think he's a absolutely fantastic football player, but I think he's a fantastic football player. I think that when you have Taysom Hill not in those roles of the gimmicks, the unexpected, the
Swiss Army knife.
Ram. Yeah, the battering ram approach down at the goalpost. You can't even stop that boy down there, you know. So what you get with Jameis, man, is you get a quarterback. You get someone that has thrown for over 5,000 yards. I mean, we know everybody talk about his interceptions, but that is why he's at the Saints with the great Sean Payton. That's why he was at the Saints last year with the great Drew Brees in that great quarterback room, including Taysom Hill. So it's not a surprise to me or us about Jameis becoming the quarterback. Jameis is in the prime of his career, man. I think that Jameis saw the opportunity to come and learn, to revamp, and that's exactly what it is. And now he's getting an opportunity to show in the prime that he can play football, and I think everybody knows Jameis can play football.
What can a coach like Sean Payton do for a talent like Jameis Winston?
Well, I think it started last year when he came with not just Sean Payton but Drew Brees. The thing that people don't realize, man, you have to have a relationship with your head coach or your offensive coordinator as the quarterback. And then Jameis didn't have that in Tampa, right? He didn't have that in Tampa. We know he didn't have that in Tampa. I know personally he didn't have that in Tampa. So now you're around a coach that you respect. You're in an environment, in a room. You respect Drew Brees, a Hall of Famer. Now you see how they go about their business, why they've been successful. You see how you're not. You saw his body change in this offseason. You saw his mental change. You saw just how he was getting in front of the camera. Those type of things change. So that is what getting to an organization such as the Patriots, such as the Saints, with these coaches that's proven, with these great quarterbacks already in place. Sean Payton is going to do wonders for him. I guarantee Sean Payton takes 15 or 10 of those interceptions off. And when you have a relationship and now you can communicate what I really want, what I expect out of a play on this down and distance, that down and distance, he understands, okay, I don't have to force this here. I could come here, and this is where I'm supposed to go. So it's little things like that.
Did you ever go through anything in your career where you went through a stretch where you were turning the ball over? You know, just you were trying to play safe, but you were turning it over even then. And my question is, what would a coach tell you that would help you out in a situation like that, where they can just give you some piece of advice or some coaching tidbit that maybe gets you out of that funk? Yeah,
I mean, I went through stretches during like my senior year where I made, like against Ole Miss, I had 2 picks to start the football game, but never, where it turned into like Jameis. But the thing is, with him, it was more like you say, what can a coach tell you in that moment, or what can they coach you up during the week? Well, if you don't have a relationship with your coach, and every time you throw a pick, it's a screaming match, or it's this is what I thought, or it's that, then no one's trying to coach you to correct it. And then when you're on a football team such as Tampa that year, when the defense was good a couple weeks, then the offense would be good, Jameis them would play well, it was an up and down roller coaster. So I didn't expect him at the time, because of the coaching, to come out of it and say, okay, coach, what do I need to do better? Or the coach come to him and say, it's the coach's job to correct that, to come to him and talk to him about that, to come to him and curtail that. And now, at some point, he has to make the changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you don't have a relationship with him, that's very, very difficult. I think you're going to see a different Jameis as far as protecting the football. And I don't even think it's so much protecting. It's just more or less understanding what the coach expects out of you in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah, better decision making.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The Saints, can they win the league? I mean, the NFC South now goes through Tampa Bay, obviously, but I mean, it seems like in watching them the last couple of weeks, the roster's still, for the most part, it's still there.
The core guys are still
there. That offensive line's good.
You know, you worry about any internal factors with all the stuff that's in the offseason stuff that's been going on. But man, the thing with it is that conference is getting better.
Yeah, it is. Carolina's on the come
I don't
up.
expect Atlanta to be that sorry. I don't expect Carolina. I expect them to compete.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that the conference has caught up to the Saints. Had that window early with when they didn't make the Super Bowl that year with the fluke play on the sideline.
No call.
And then the
Minnesota Miracle.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like those 2 years was the opportunity to get you one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so now you done threw Tom in the mix. It's incredible, but this is only Tom's second year in Tampa.
I know.
It seems like he's been in Tampa 4 years already. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what's scary for me about it is they started figuring it out at the end last year in Tampa. And I know they went undefeated after the bye week. But, man, quarterbacks make their biggest jumps in year 2. So if this man don't get hurt, what the hell are we going to see?
Yeah.
You know, and you have weapons. These guys understand you more. You're coming off you've been able to work out with them. You've been able to have them at your house and do all the things that these quarterbacks, these great ones, normally do, and get your timing and stuff like that down. Their time is down before they even go into training camp. You know, you have all these guys. So it could get really crazy, especially with how that defense is playing out there. Everything gonna go through Tampa.
Absolutely. No, I agree. With Brady going into year 2, and watch out for Carolina. I mean, they seem like a team that's kind of coming from the back that could make a big jump this year under Matt Rule. I mean, Robbie Anderson's a dog on the outside. Christian McCaffrey's a big time player. Sam Darnold, where's he fitting? You know, Joe Brady's going to figure it out with him.
Add Terrace Marshall into the mix with the guy.
He's had a great preseason.
They had a great preseason.
And they got some young,
they coming, man.
high-round draft picks on the defensive line.
They coming.
That are some dogs.
They coming, man. And there's the one thing you know about Rule and Joe Cool Brady. You know one thing, they're not scared.
Yeah.
They're not scared.
Yeah, they're not intimidated by anything.
by nothing.
Yeah.
By nothing.
Right.
And you say what you want about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has one of the best arms in the league. And listen, man, ain't nobody gonna survive in that Jets organization right now. And what's going on up there? No quarterback. Exactly. Everyone's trying to get out of there. So I don't. You know, I'm all for restarting, especially at the quarterback position. If any position, but especially at the quarterback position, if you're somewhere and they draft you just like a Sam Darnold and these guys, and it's not panning out because of the organization, that's not anything to do with you. When you doing this, you're getting killed, you have no protection. They trade away your guys, they trade away everybody on defense. You're basically the scapegoat because you were the first pick and you were a quarterback. So I'm happy. I'm actually happy for Sam Darnold that he gets an opportunity, because the times that I've seen him play and it was either decent protection or he wasn't running for his life, the man can make every throw. Yeah. Every throw.
Yeah, his arm is live.
It's unbelievable.
I mean,
it reminds me of Jeff George.
Well, yeah, he just kind of flicks it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he just zip. The NFC South quarterback scenarios are pretty. I mean, they're Tom Brady, Matt Ryan. I mean, then you factor in Sam Darnold and Jameis Winston on what it could be. You know what I mean? Like
air show.
It's crazy. I mean, just the name recognition that they have alone.
Right.
Well, it makes me think about you mentioned Tom Brady going into year 2, but it basically feels like this is year 1.5, and for him to be able to finally have an entire offseason with all the guys and not to mention they brought everybody back.
So
his ability to be able to build on this with every
and
the continuity is there.
Well.
Yeah, they did draft well.
They draft well.
So that makes me more nervous than anything if you're a Saints fan to see how good Tampa could be, because like you mentioned, they're bringing it. They caught fire like towards the last end of the year. That Tampa Bay team that played in the playoffs against the Saints was not the Tampa Bay team that they scorched twice.
Yeah.
Heck no. You knew that was going to be different.
You could feel it.
Yeah, you could feel it. You could listen. You could feel it after the bye week. It was like the first week. It was like, okay, let's see what his offense looks like compared to what we were doing. And Tom's after week 7 or whenever the bye week was, Tom was like, okay, listen,
blow this thing up.
Give me
and
the
this
play
is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean,
where's the fireplace?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And he was just like, listen, okay, we tried that. We're gonna do it my way. We're gonna incorporate some of yours. But if this thing's gonna work, you brought me here for a reason. You're stubborn.
I'm a
and
winner.
Then you saw what happened.
Yeah.
And so when that happens that way, and I know 12, like, and I don't even know 12 past when like 6 years. So I don't know I'm the man
right,
12.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You still knew hungry 12.
Yeah, and he's still hungry.
Right.
But I know how he was then. So I could only imagine what his no nonsense, no BS radar is now when he finally but he know he's at the back end, the top of his career where everybody doubting him, everybody this. Like, people don't understand, dog. Like, this dude, that's all he want. People, you know how some people say they look for things to motivate him? He don't have to look. It's there every morning he wakes up at the age that he is. All he wants to do is defy everything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dead serious. All he wants to do is defy every single thing. You say I can't play till I'm 45? Man, watch.
Yeah.
You say I can't do this? Watch. I'm going to put $3 million on my body. You say I can't do this? Watch. I can't go here and win a Super Bowl without you, Bill? Watch.
Yeah.
Telling you, that's the boy.
He is. That is scary to think about for the rest of the league.
And he hadn't been wrong yet.
No.
He has not been wrong yet, dog.
How will we look back on Brady? How will we...
Like, I don't... People
like in 10 years, will we look back and be like, Jesus, how good was this guy?
The thing about it is, people... You know what? The thing that sometimes irritates me about when they talk about him is, like, he shouldn't even be in everyone else's category, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if we just talking about, and this isn't even, you grade everybody on wins and losses. That's what we all graded on. So if you just grade them on wins and losses and championship, who's close? Yeah. It ain't that, that shouldn't even be a word for him to me. Like, because they call everybody the GOAT nowadays, in my opinion, sometimes. Like, who's close to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even close. The whole thing, you talk about all these other quarterbacks, and they're great. The Elways, Montanas, the Grease, like, all of them, they're great, fantastic players. Great. But they're not even close when you put the numbers. Right. And I'm talking about Super Bowls and championships, because that's all we get graded about. Sure. He's not even close. So, I mean, it's not a question for me, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know how we're going to look back and say, because the thing is, this is the thing. Everyone speaks on whatever you do in life, you want to be consistent at it. You want to be consistent. You want to be a great father, consistent. Good business owner, consistent. Good football player, consistent. Who's been more consistent? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, who's been more consistent than this boy?
Yeah. No, it's something that you'll definitely look back on and say, I mean, for you, you were a teammate of his, but for people like us, just to have the opportunity to watch him, I mean, it's like watching Picasso paint. It's like watching, Mozart write.
I just marvel at the consistency, man, and then your drive to do it. You know how hard it is, dog, to get up every year after like 6 years and be like, I'm going to training camp. I'm going to train today. I'm going to train today. I'm going to eat right. And he does it all the time. And like, it's because it's the discipline. Like, the discipline is unbelievable, dude.
Well, you talk about like consistency, and we're talking about the quarterbacks for the Saints. And if they don't have a Drew Brees that year, going into his final year, which was apparent,
right?
everything that you could draw the dots to was that Tom Brady wanted to come to the New Orleans. So if you don't have Drew Brees, that's the only quarterback you probably couldn't. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and then the young guys with Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, those guys that you couldn't ship out of town. The Saints were just 1 year away from moving in a Tom Brady for a Drew Brees. And you spoke of consistency. I would say that Drew Brees is probably the second most consistent in terms of work ethic and everything to where you couldn't move him, right?
Yeah, those guys are close. I definitely believe that. I definitely believe Drew Brees is a hell of a worker. Aaron Rodgers as well. I when all that was going on, the first thing I said was, when that whole thing was going on with Aaron Rodgers, I was like, Saints need to go after him.
No doubt. Blow
that up. Go after him. But honestly, dude, I think the Saints got their quarterback for like the next, Jameis is what, 27? For at least the next 8 years.
Wow. That'd be great.
You believe that highly in Jameis?
I do. Let me tell you something, man. A guy does not throw for over 5,000 yards on a bad team, and it's luck.
Right.
It just doesn't happen. And then if you look at it, if you take away half of his interceptions, that's a Pro Bowl year for anybody. That's 15 touchdowns that's 15 interceptions, over 30 touchdowns, and over 5,000 yards.
And he did that literally blind. Like he was legally blind. His vision. I mean, he came down here and
got surgery.
I mean, Rohan, how does that happen? How do the guy, like, y'all are so overly evaluated? They measure your hand size.
Being in an organization that really don't care, man. Like it's not. And I mean, he also has to take accountability for that.
Sure.
And know if he had a problem, you got money, go get this fixed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, yes, your organization, I'm sure they knew that. They had to have some inkling.
Got to.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way Bill Belichick in there, he know that his backup quarterback or whoever can't damn see out one of his eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
But I would say that it's also a testament to Bruce Arians and his scheme, because Tom Brady early with Tampa Bay was throwing a lot of interceptions with trying to work in Bruce Arians' scheme.
That's the point we were trying to make. It was Bruce Arians' scheme.
And Tom Brady changed it, and now you have Jameis in a different Sean Payton scheme.
Right.
So it might cut down on the mistakes a little bit.
It will. And just imagine you in that scheme trying to run that offense, and you and the quarterback coach don't have no relationship.
And you can't see.
And you can't see. He has no relationship with the man, and you can't see.
You're not through for 5,000 yards.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, this is the thing. This is the thing about it. Are we talking about his talent? No.
Right.
We're talking about his decision making. That's coaching.
Yeah.
And him himself. He has to take some accountability. I'm not taking all off of him. But as you progress and as you get more mature, which Jameis clearly seems to be a whole, I'm not trying to give him no gold stars or anything, but he seems to be going in the right direction.
Sure.
Yeah, man, we all go through that. And I'm still going to wait and see how he performs, but I have more confidence in Jameis Winston running the New Orleans Saints offense as a quarterback, being able to throw the ball outside the numbers, being able to throw the deep comebacks, being able to throw the deep post, being able to go from top down to bottom up, being able to read full field if necessary, being able to move up in the pocket as a quarterback and not limit himself from seeing one side of the field because he slides up in the pocket half tilt. And that's the difference in Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. You get more of, you can run, you can do everything. And that's what you get. So I have more confidence in Jameis doing the things necessary to move the football than Taysom Hill playing quarterback.
The 2 touchdown passes versus Jacksonville were 2 of the finest passes that I've seen from that position at the New Orleans. Just going down, pushing the ball down the field. You forget how underneath the Saints have played for the last 5 years. I mean, really everything has been within 12 to 7 yards. I mean, those 2 passes were 35 yards down the field, and the second touchdown was a 40-yard handoff. I mean, like, he dropped that thing into...
That was number 1?
Marquez Callaway.
Monster. He looks the part.
He is a dog.
He looks the part.
Undrafted.
He looks the. See, that's the other thing, man, that I like about the Saints. The Saints and Bill does this well. They find those guys, man. They have, shout out to their scouting department, and I really mean this. They have a great scouting department. They always find these guys or draft these guys late that don't nobody know about, or know about but don't take a chance.
Sure. Don't know how to fit them.
Don't know how to fit them.
Yeah.
Just like LSU when we didn't recruit my man linebacker at Alabama because we didn't know
Christian Harris.
Because we didn't know where he fits in.
Are you kidding?
He fits in on the team.
He's an All-American is where he fits in. That's where he fits in.
The boy is possibly the best linebacker in America.
I mean, how?
If you see a big 6'2" monster. Listen, I remember
he won't work out at camp. Who cares?
I don't want him to work out.
Who cares?
You can look at him and see the boy works out.
Who cares?
You know who doesn't work out?
Who cares?
First round picks.
Hey, but look, the boy.
And I don't mean in the weight room. They were like on the field. They were like, he won't work out. Who cares?
I don't care if he works out on the field. Look at the boy. You know he's working out on the field.
He can work out on Saturdays.
That boy working out on the
like,
field. Right?
Jack Besh, I'll hear an argument. We'd like to see him work out on the field.
Why?
Fine.
Him either.
Christian Harris, get him fitted up.
Hey, man.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Hey, listen.
Here's a jersey and a letter of intent.
That's what I'm saying.
Not to mention, he's on the campus.
He's grown up here.
He's on campus.
People crazy, though.
LSU opens up their season 1 week from tomorrow. Dorian Thompson Robinson is a senior quarterback for Chip Kelly in year 4. It's Kelly's first big recruit. He was a 1-year starter at Bishop Gorman. Before that, he played wide receiver. Kelly got the job at UCLA, got the commitment from Thompson Robinson, and he's been the starter, really. He started 9 games as a freshman and has been the starter since. What do you know about Thompson Robinson, and what do you think about his game?
QB?
Yeah.
Problem. Simply put. We was fortunate enough to take a look at him. But look, man, we was talking about De'Aaron King and just the
similarities
and the fact that this kid right here, in my opinion, flashes more when he throws the football now. We know that he could keep the play alive, but I wanted to see, could he throw the football? And the one thing you know is he's fearless when it comes to sitting in that pocket and throwing the football, but he's more dangerous when he gets on the outsides and gets going. So for us, it's going to be that same thing, man. You're going to have to keep him in the pocket. And, you know, our strength is when we got that package on defense now where they have 3, 11, and 8. Anthony,
B.J. Ojulari,
and
Ali
Gay. Yeah. And they're either lined up 2 on one side and 1 on one side. So Ali Gay usually by himself, and then you got them other 2 monsters come out the other side. Or you have Anthony and Gay on one side. So it's going to be real important when they start running those little twists. If Gay comes inside, Anthony outside, because DTR quick enough to slip through and
athletic.
You know what I mean? Very athletic enough to do all those things. But we're gonna have to. I don't know if we do this early, if we spy him early, if it's too early for that.
Mike Jones, maybe.
Yeah, Mike Jones.
Baskerville,
one of those speedier guys. But I don't know if that's part of the game plan. Where we watch
just to let him know.
Yeah, and I think with our secondary, I expect our secondary to be able to
go ahead,
hold on and be able to at least give them enough time to where the defense could get home. You know, most of the time we say defensive line get home, the defensive backs know the ball coming out quick. But it's kind of reverse here because he's going to be trying to get the ball out quick. We're going to come up and come kind of press, some kind of whatever, and take that look away from him and get a defensive line a chance to get home. But what we got to do is not create them pockets, lanes.
What do you do with a primary option for a quarterback being the tight end?
85.
Defensively.
What's his name? The walk-on, Trzynski, whatever the hell his name is. Desick.
Yeah.
I was just looking it up.
Yeah,
85.
You got it written down right there.
6'4", 230.
Animal.
250. Look like Kittles.
Yeah, it looks like he looks like Travis Kelce.
That's a big old boy.
Craig Dulcich.
That's a big old boy.
Yeah.
Walk on at that. How we missed that?
Yeah.
Well, we have to take him away. You got to put somebody in his face to bang him at the line of scrimmage, or if they flex him out, we can't give him a free release. We know that that's his number one target.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing our self-scouting and watching it, and I mean, if you watch 10 highlights, 8 of them are to him.
Yeah.
You know, down, and especially down the middle of the field.
Right.
He's a matchup problem. And we've had problems with tight ends before, especially tight ends of this size, because this guy right now looks like he could possibly be a first-round draft pick with just size and the way he runs alone. So got to put somebody in his face, Jay. Bang him around a little bit. Can't give him no free release off the line of scrimmage, that's for sure. And take away his target. You know, all these good defensive coordinators, which we seem to have one, hasn't coached a game here yet, but we're getting ready to see and see what the game plan will be against him, because he's definitely DTR's number one target.
Yeah.
When it comes to throwing the football down and who he's even looking at. It doesn't even matter if it's first down, third down, whatever it is. That's his number one guy. So
that's his Josh Reed.
That's right, baby. That's his Josh Reed. You take him away and make him go to a Jarrell Myers or somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Reggie Robinson, one of these guys.
Robert Royal.
And these guys are comparable, but you take away the Biletnikoff winner, then everyone else has to step up. And it's the same thing with this, because he's an All-American. You take away the All-American tight end, and let's see who else, can step up and play. And I'm sure we'll find that out early. But the biggest thing is take away that tight end. The keys for LSU in this game, take away that tight end. Defensively, take away that tight end. Use Sting, Ricks against whoever they one or
just
two.
Shut them down.
Yeah, just shut them down. Put Sting on there and shut something down. Rick's on the other side, shut something down, and take away the big tight end with banging him at the line of scrimmage, making him have to run through those linebackers and put a safety down to take him over the top. And then these guys got to know when we doing all these cross stunts, you can't be so concerned of getting upfield. You got to get to eye level, the depth of the quarterback, then shut it down. Because if you get too high, he gone.
Yeah.
So get the eye level, sit there, keep contained, keep him in what we call that foxhole. And as a quarterback, they always want us to throw out that hole. So that's basically let him throw out that hole.
Yeah.
Everybody surrounding him, let him throw out that hole.
How much of a concern is it with LSU's pass rush being mostly the guys that we've highlighted so far? It's a speed pass rush to where you get up the field.
Well, that's just in that package.
But those are your two starting defensive ends in most cases.
But those aren't. You still got Neal in the middle, so you still have those big guys up front. That's just the package they bring in. And Anthony is big enough and durable enough as far as he's not just a speed guy. And Gay as well.
Yeah.
They are
hold the point.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just talking about like when they're in that package, that when it's 3rd and 8 and that it's a passing down
package.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
So, they have to keep contained.
No, but my bigger question was whenever he breaks contained, and I would imagine that the defensive coordinator, Durante Jones, is thinking, I've got these two guys on an island, and Derek Stingley and Eli Ricks. When he breaks contained, and it's man-on-man coverage, and you can extend the play for 4 or 5 seconds, that's when you get in trouble. So how much does that play into? Do you do a mush rush, or do you have a QB contained where you drop somebody back?
That's the same thing I'm talking about. When those guys rush, instead of you rushing to get past him to go get a sack, you're not rushing for sacks.
Right.
You're rushing to get to a certain point and push him up into the pocket. Instead of him breaking out wide, he's coming up into the pocket, into that pass rush. So they're going to teach those linebackers are going to be inside. They're going to drop. You're still going to have your nose in the middle. So he's there holding the point. Anything up, he's pushing that middle. These guys, what they can't do is let him slide up in the pocket and then get back out.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And listen, when you play quarterbacks like this, the Aaron Kings and these guys that extend these plays well, these DBs know, man, I got to stick to them an extra 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They know that. So it's all part of the game plan. But the biggest thing is those ends on these long down and distances. Whenever we do our cross dogs or whatever we run outside, when they get the rushing, we just cannot run past him. If we run past him, we are in trouble.
But all in all, you're very impressed with DTR.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's a high, what I call a high competitive player.
Yeah. He's in my opinion, great opening test for this LSU team.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Especially with who that coach is.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
It seems like a big test for Mike Jones, maybe. This might be the time that you see him get on the field just because he might be able to run with the tight end or spy the quarterback. They haven't really found a fit for him yet, but it seems like in a wide open game like this might be, that he might be the guy you see on the field more than you thought.
Afternoon, Jay, with Rohan Davey. Remember, every week here, we're doing that here on the Jordy Culotta Show. He will be a part of our post-game coverage as well. We'll be over in Los Angeles, so for the first week, we will be kind of on the fly. But after that, our schedule we'll have laid out for you as far as what looks like how we do this. We'll definitely be on the early part of the week, a Monday, Thursday, Friday segment, and then we'll have something back for you on Saturday game day. Tonight we're going over to Woodlawn to catch Madison Prep versus the Panthers in a Jamboree. Only a half-game setting here on this Friday night around Louisiana with Jamboree games, but there are stellar matchups all over the area, including Woodlawn and Madison Prep, which we've talked a little bit about. Catholic High is playing University High at Memorial Stadium, which is going to have some high-level prospects on the field as well. And then over at the Dunham School, they're retiring Derek Stingley Jr.'s number 24 before their match versus Catholic High Point Capee tonight. And I know we've talked about Stingley, the college player, and what he potentially is, but you remember him in high school and how good of a player and prospect.
I'll be honest with you, dog. Like, when I kept hearing about him and I went and saw him play, I thought he was a fantastic player, but I thought the competition sucked.
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, well, he looks good, everything. Big, size, physical, intelligent, everything, pedigree. But no, for me, I always hold out, man, until I see him in college or see him at the next. And when and when I saw that kid, dude, and I didn't even see him play. It was just me talking to him and seeing him work out. And honestly, that's all I needed to see. This is to talk to him, because he was one of them kids that you talk to, and I know it's because of his family and his dad and the environment. He just seemed like he was ready. He always seemed ready.
Yeah.
And then to see him play in his execution and everything like that, and just how raw how athletic he is, but also how polished he was fundamentally, and how he really took to his fundamentals. Because DBs is so much about footwork.
Sure.
And how his footwork was just immaculate. So the kid's a fantastic player, man, and a fantastic young man, most importantly. And I'm glad to see that Dunham is giving him that honor of retiring his jersey. Definitely kudos to him. Hats off to him, his whole family, Big Sting, all those boys. So it's a huge night for him and a good night for his family. That's exciting. Anytime you can get your jersey retired from your high school or your college or anything like that. It's special to athletes. It's very special.
I bet it'll be a cool night for Stingley and his family, and for the entire Dunham family who had the opportunity. And what I love about it is that he was just there 3 years ago. I mean, I love that. Absolutely,
there,
man.
Give him his flowers,
a lot
baby.
of the people that are in the stands tonight were sitting there 3 years ago watching him play, so everybody knows and familiar with it.
The thing listen, man, I think this is a shout out to everybody, man. Listen, high school football this season, if you haven't gotten out or you don't know about high school football in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, and the surrounding areas, and know what kind of kids, and not just local, but these kids are nationally ranked. These kids are 1, 2, 3 in their respective class. These are monster kids that's in the area. So, man, listen, y'all get out and support these guys. You got monster matchups all week, all year. Kids facing off, top DBs against top receivers, top quarterbacks facing off against each other all year. You know what I mean? So, shoot. I mean, listen, even tonight, U-High has, and I mean, I ain't even talking about, I'm talking about Jaden Osbury.
Yeah.
Jaden Osbury is, in his class, is a top linebacker in the country.
Right. I mean, he's a 5-star.
That's what I'm telling you. The kids, and he's a junior.
Yeah.
Shelton Sampson Jr. is a junior.
Yeah.
Ricky's a junior. Daniel Beal's a sophomore.
Wow.
Bradley Wright's a freshman on varsity slot. So, these guys in the area, man, y'all come out and see them, because these kids are special.
We will be at Woodlawn tonight, which will have players all over the field. Madison Prep, Woodlawn, Ricky Collins versus Quincy Wiggins will be the headline of that group, but there's players everywhere.
This thing about, you got Quincy, you got Ricky,
you got the DB,
you got Roshan
Matthews,
Jordan Matthews. Jordan's a LSU offer. Ricky's a LSU offer. Wiggs a LSU offer. You have a young up-and-coming linebacker at Woodlawn, which is my boy Chris out of New Orleans, played at John Eric Cooper. Chris Cooper's son, Fat Daddy, is at Woodlawn, sophomore linebacker, 6'2", 230, 4'5", 40, banging.
Woodlawn is
Listen, man.
loaded, man.
They got Woodlawn got coming to top. Listen, that's a y'all get out, man. Support the Woodlawn, the Scotlandville, the capital. This is gonna be. We gonna be all over the place. You know that.
Absolutely. Marcus Randall won a state championship at Southern Lab. I'm not talking about all the stuff that he had the best football team in the state for a couple of seasons. Is this the best team he's ever had?
It's definitely the best group of talent. Now, they have to win the championship to say that.
Sure.
But as far as the talent is immense.
Wow.
The talent is immense. There's going to be some great games, man.
Man, I'm looking forward to tonight, to being out there and
It's a
seeing
hell of
these
a
two.
jamboree, dude.
It is.
Just think about it, man. You have possibly, on both sides of the ball, you probably have 11 Division I prospects just in that game alone. And I'm not talking about guys in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I'm talking about big time football
Power
players.
5 players.
Top
Yeah,
guys.
top guys.
And they'll give you a little taste tonight.
I wonder how
gonna
many
give you a
colleges will
taste.
be on the sideline tonight.
They give you a taste.
It probably look like, it's probably going to look like SEC Saturday morning on the sidelines. You'll have every school represented probably on the sidelines tonight.
Yeah.
Ro, great to see you. Looking forward to working together as always. F3 Elite, that you know at the 7-on-7.
baby.
They are coming, man.
baby.
Look
We
out.
coming,
I don't think
baby.
there's an area of the country they ain't touched over the last couple of weeks. They coming for you. All right, Ro, I'll see you, baby.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Afternoon, Jay. Check it in.
I like afternoon, Jay.
I put Rollin with Roe. I didn't know if y'all like that. Little,
I do like rolling up.
Roe.
We're rolling up with Ro.
Rolling up.
Rolling up.